FamilySearch. We're going to go ahead and get involved and start on some indexing. Today, we're going to be doing the U.S. Connecticut New Haven Naturalization Records. For you guys to easily find that, you can just scroll down to our ward, click it, and then you'll see the batch that'll have it adopted. Let's go ahead and open it. So they have this very important details that you'll want to read through. I'll read through them with you. Do not mark the following forms as no extractable data at the very beginning. Whenever you are indexing a form, you say whether it has extractable data by saying yes or no, there's not extractable data. So they're wanting to make sure we index certificates of arrival, oath of allegiance, and name change records. So we're going to index those and say yes instead of that. Please review the project instructions as well as these points. If you are not sure an image should be indexed, please review the project instructions. Do not mark an image as no extractable data. Honestly, they just want you to index a lot of these. So if you're not comfortable, just return it. Index only the topmost indexable record or the overlay on the image. If the document behind the overlay is also a record that should not be indexed in this project, do not index the information on the partially covered document. When combining information from multiple non-overlapping documents on the same image for the same individual, use the record number and record date of the petition for naturalization. Do not create separate entries for people other than the principal. For example, do not create separate entries for the spouse or children of the primary person. This is going to feel repetitive, but we'll keep going. Okay, so over here is our project instructions. Here's the batch they've given me. I've already done half of this so that it could go a little faster. So, project description. This project includes naturalization records from the New Haven, Connecticut from the period of 1906 through 1945. The records were typically handwritten in printed forms. Individual batches contain up to 2 images, each image containing up to 2 records. That's exactly what I have right now. So what to index? Still index projects that date outside the range. Pretty much index all documents that you end up getting. Here's the ones that you shouldn't, though. Should not index and do no extractable data. Here, I'll show you what that would look like. It'll be this first part. The only ones that you should do no extractable data instead of yes are cover pages, affidavits of witness, or depositions. If a name change request was included on the indexable naturalization document, index the information on the naturalization document. Indexes are images with only a name and reference information, such as a page or volume number. But no other information, such as dates available, that's another one that you should say no extractable data. So here's examples of what you will see. This is a petition for citizenship and what it will look like. So it says here, it says press Control B, or on a Mac, Command B to put in the field as blank. So let's say they didn't have that their sex was male or female directly, you would hit Control blank or Control B to make it blank. So if there's ever not something on here, just go for that. The record number, you'll find it up here in the top right corner. Give a name for this guy. We'll zoom in a little bit right here. His name, so here kind of goes the petition of, that's his name, Alfredo Brazzilli. And then if you keep reading, he was born here, and then they want to know his birth, a month, day, year, and his place. And then record month, day, year happens to be down lower, right down here. Let's say he was sworn in. That's the place, the date, the month. And then in this document, he actually has written in his wife. So they want to know who his wife and the birthplace and year, and this has that information. You can see that they only wrote her given name. They didn't write her surname because he didn't directly write it, and you wouldn't just assume to write his surname as hers if it wasn't written. They also have written here, names may have been written in more than one place in the document, so look for the most complete version of the name and type it in under given names or surnames. Please note for petitions of naturalization that have a date recorded only in the affidavit of witness section, type that date in the appropriate fields. Do not include any other information from the affidavit of witness. So that would be this section right here. They really don't want you to ever type in anything from that section because that's just people saying, yeah, that person is who he's saying it is. It's usually like family member, outside family, usually it's actually friends and trusted people. So that's how you would do a petition for citizenship. This is how to do another petition for citizenship. This one has 2 pages. I'm going to go ahead and get both of those up. Okay, so under this one, let's make it a little, we have a record number in the top. Again, it just says, if it's not there, just do Control B for it to make it blank. So his given names, right here, it's a petition for this guy, but as they kept reading, he wanted to become under the name of, and then he wrote it with a V this time, so you would write it in both ways you saw it with an or. And then his surname, and you keep reading and you find out he was born there and on that day, plug it in. These asterisks are here to tell you that it's on the next page. You're looking for the word, oops, I'm so sorry, the word seal, and that kind of tells you when the record was officially done. So it was done in New Haven, Connecticut, and that's the date that it was done. You don't want to type in this number, just the one at the top. And then let's go back to that first one. Again, names. Okay, that's kind of it for this document. The only thing I'm surprised here is that they actually wrote out Connecticut. Usually you just leave it abbreviated because that's what it was in the thing, but they have it written out fully here, so that's probably why they went ahead and wrote it fully out, because they're for sure it's Connecticut as written in many other places. So I would say only write Connecticut fully if you saw it in another place, or else just leave it as is. How to index a declaration of intention. So again, Control B for blank things. Here's the record number in the top. They say to go ahead and write in the letters that you see on there. So given name, Bridget, and so that's her name and her surname. Given names are first names and middle names, so any name besides the what we call the last name. Here they actually have sex, female, and all the other documents you would just do command blank because, sorry, I have a Mac, so that's what I go to is command blank. They were just doing that because there was actually no space that they wrote out specifically male or female. You would only ever type it in if it was done straight out like this, or if there were actual, here, actually, let me show you. The only reason that you would do it is index the sex only if it was specifically recorded, where you can tell what it was from pronouns such as she or he, title terms. Do not assume the sex of a person based on given names. And if it wasn't recorded or written, do Control B. Sorry, my explanation was a lot worse than that. So thanks for letting me read that. Anyway, then it goes on and she says she was born there and on that date. We want to know those. And then we want to know whenever it was recorded. Again, down here kind of by the seal where you're agreeing to this is where the record day, month, year, and place is. Okay, let's go to Declaration of Intention, a second one. This is the one that I will be indexing. Oops, there we go. So here we go, we have our record number. So our record number here, there's two record numbers from whenever I was learning, while I was reading it. It said to do the first record number, not the next one written. Just always do that first one. Okay, it's for this person. I, Catherine, not going to try that last name. And then they want to know where she was born, and I was born, you read for it, and then day, month, year. And they want to know the record. Oops. Here's seal, subscribed and sworn before the office on this day, month, year. And then the place, oops, on these ones were up here is where it was done. Okay, well, let's read this. Oh yeah, if the record number were included in the document, index the original number by the pre-printed. No, already said that. Perfect. And look for people's full names through the documents. This is how to do an oath of allegiance. So his name and then the record numbers, or the record day, month, year. Please note, do not index the certificate number at the bottom of the oath of allegiance in the record number field. This is the certificate number. They don't want that. Don't do Control B for the record number on oaths of allegiance. This is how to do a certificate of arrival. This one, you do the record number, and then the name right there, easy, and the record day, month, year, super easy. Nothing else on those ones. What to remember about this project. If you ever have a question, go right there to that purple question mark. It's on every single field that you're on, and that's honestly helped me a lot in this project. The completed index and links to digital images will be freely accessible online to the general public when this is done, so try to do your best is what they're saying with that one. If the record does not include a name for the principal person, still index it and just write their name as blank. And then index everything else that you see that pertains to what they want. Do not create separate entries for people such as spouse or children. Just leave it to the principal person. Images may contain multiple records. Oh wait, for that one about like multiple people, I think that first guy that we did, Alfredo, what name? Maybe he's the one who did the sauce. So yeah, we did record his spouse, but we didn't record his 3 children that he had. They don't want that in this one. They just want to know really about the general people. So images may contain multiple records, either for the same person or different people. Be sure to examine each image carefully. Index all the records that pertain to this project. So pretty much just the main person who is, so like that last guy, it was all about Alfredo. Only do Alfredo. Some documents have reference numbers that refer to other documents, such as in the certificate of arrival. In this one, there's like these other numbers down here. Don't index those because it refers to other things. That's what they're saying. If a naturalization document was filled out on behalf of a spouse or child, index it as if it was for that person. Naturalization records should be indexed regardless of whether citizenship was granted or denied. Do not index information about non-relatives. How many times do we have to say that? Multiple dates may be indicated on a document. When typing the naturalization date, use the most recent date that relates to the naturalization process. For petitions for naturalization that have a date recorded only in that I'm really bad at that word, a witness section, type the date of the appropriate fields. Do not include any other information from the witness section. When combining information from multiple documents on the same image, use the record number from the petition of naturalization. Pretty much that petition of naturalization is the go-to. If the image does not show a petition for naturalization, use the record number from the document with the most recent date. Naturalization registers sometimes have multiple columns of entries. Index each entry starting at the top leftmost column and moving to the bottom. Then index any subsequent columns also from top to bottom. So they're saying just kind of go, like if it has like a person's name here and then here and then here, just start top left and go this way instead of, starting on the right side. When indexing birthplaces, please remember the terms native and foreign do not necessarily mean that that's where they were born. Look specifically to where it says, I was born. Okay, if Naturalization Register does not show column headings, check the column heading on the previous or next image to see what information each column contains. If the previous or next image does not show column headings, then sample images may give you an idea of what each column is referring to. After checking the previous and next image of the sample image, you're not sure what columns refer to. Then use your best judgment to determine whether to index the information or to mark the fields as blank. See what to do when a record spans 2 images in the general indexing guidelines below. So this one's kind of an example. Remember, there were 2 pages to this guy. This Russian dude, Polish dude, he had 2 pages. So like, you would do it all on the same entry. So you would say like to the first image on that step 1, you would say yes. And then if it was on a completely different page, like that page, then you would say no, so that it's all just on one person. Pretty sure that's what they're getting at on this one. When indexing an oath of allegiance, let's go back to the picture. Oath of allegiance, the really simple one. I hope you all get those ones. Do not index the certificate number and the record number. As we already went over, there's no record number. Don't do that record number down there. For more general stuff, view general stuff. Well, let's go ahead and actually get started on this. So these look just like this one. So I am like pretty positive and kind of reading through it that yes, I should index this one. And then this next one looks exactly the same and it's different people because I've already read through it. So yes, I'm going to index these. So let's go ahead and get started. That number, the record number is this one. Remember, you do the first one, not the last one. Okay. And then I'm pretty sure that's a 4 because that one says 5 right after. So that's my reasoning. I'm on entry 2. That's why that didn't match up. 4, not 5. Okay. This guy, he says his name is Luigi Facchili. Okay. It doesn't specifically say his sex, and since he says he was not married and didn't scratch out husband or wife, I went ahead and wrote that one as blank because it says it nowhere else. I was born in Ripe, Italy, and then he was born on the 9th of February, 1903. So 9th February, 1903, Ripe, Italy. Going down to record, I'm going to scroll down to that seal portion, subscribed and sworn in office on the 2nd day of February, 1925. And this was all done in the District of Connecticut and the County of New Haven. So New Haven, Connecticut, I did that because, that's exactly how they did it here. New Haven, Connecticut. So I went ahead and just did it just like them. This guy said he didn't have any spouse, so I just wrote it all, and I did, for me, Command B. For a not Mac user, Control V. Blah, 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 blah. And then you can go ahead and click next, or for me, I went ahead and just use the arrow. Okay, we're looking at the second one. So if there wasn't another person on this page, you would want to delete this extra entry. But this is a different person, so you want a different entry stating this is a completely different person. So that record number up here, 12665. Simon Schwartz. Again, he didn't exactly scratch out or circle one of them for husband-wife. So I went ahead again with blank because there's nowhere else that says that this guy is a guy. Again, I'm assuming. He was born on the 3rd day of May in 1894. Let's scroll down in Schmorg, on Russia. And then let's go back down to that seal on the 2nd day of February, 1925, in Connecticut, New Haven. But this guy did say he had a spouse, Bertha. Doesn't say surname, so we're not going to just write his, just leave it blank. And year, and birthplace, they wrote Russia. This is why we go through things twice usually when we do it. So there we go. You can create an entry 3 if there was like a third one, but there's not. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my next image. Lucky me, this is all the same. My record number, and then this guy's name is Peter. Elio. Let's see if this person's not married, and it doesn't say specify sex anywhere else. I love this guy. His complexion is ruddy. He was born, which I actually looked that up. Which means that he worked outside, so had a healthy reddish complexion. I thought that was great. He was born on the 9th of December in 1906. I guess that makes sense because he's a laborer. Birthplace, I was born straight out of Naples. Let's go down to that record, 2nd of February. February 2nd, 1925. In New Haven, Connecticut. Oops. I would never be able to spell that without this. He was not married, so we're going to say blank. Blank to all of that. Blank. Okay, that automatically sent us to the next entry once you finish that last one. And if you're like, oh wait, I wasn't actually done, you can always just click that arrow, go back, but I'm done. So here we go. I need that record number. It's on the top. 12667. I, Theodore, Hugo, and then Martin. This guy, though, he's scratched out husband, so I'm going to say he's male. Because he's no, I'm a husband. He's a hairdresser. That's cool. And he was born in July 1st. Oh, it's my sister's birthday. 1875. Just a little bit older than my sister. Birthplace. Yeah. Write it specifically as they say it. Okay. Go down to that record number. That seal. February. Spell. 2nd day. Oh, no, just number 2. Yeah. Okay. 1925. What do you think? New Haven, Connecticut. He does have a spouse. Her name is Jane. And did not write a surname. They do not give a birth year. They do say she was born in Glasgow, Scotland. German and a Scotwoman. Just making sure I got everything. His distinctive marks. A mustache. Yep. I would say that's about it. Okay. That's it for my batch. This was honestly really easy. Remember, if you ever get kind of stuck on what that is, then hit that question mark. If you need to remember any project details, you can always hit that project instruction button. I really kind of rely heavily finding one of these images that look a lot like my image and use it to help me with mine. There's nothing else here. A cool, fun little thing if you ever want something to kind of keep you where you are. You can hit data entry and show ruler and move it around to kind of keep you where you are. I think these are super fun because you kind of get a little scope into their lives, and for me. I've actually done this process with my husband, so it's relatable. So then, yeah, submit the batch. Quality check, no issues found. Would you like to submit your work now? Yeah, let's see the confetti. Ta-da! And from here, you can either go ahead and do a batch similar to this, and from that, you can do anything that's like those ones up here, or maybe you might get one just like it, or like mine. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed U.S. Connecticut New Haven Naturalization Records. Thank you.